Ireland, 1803. A failed uprising. A group of rebels, idealists, fighters, poets, are sentenced to exile in a far-off hell called Van Diemen's Land, modern-day Tasmania. Half a world away, in 1981, another prisoner, locked behind the walls of the long Kesh in Northern Ireland, picks up a pen. His body is wasting away, but his words carry a revolution. That prisoner was Bobby Sands, and the song was Back Home in Derry. Back Home in Derry is a thread tying 2 centuries of rebellion together. From the blood-soaked streets of Dublin to the prison blocks of Northern Ireland, the lyrics were written by Bobby Sands, a 27-year-old IRA volunteer who was imprisoned in Long Kesh prison, also known as the Maze, a notorious British prison in County Antrim, just outside Belfast. To really understand the song more, and the weight that it carries, let's first talk a little bit about Bobby Sands. Bobby Sands wrote Back Home in Derry in 1980 while serving a 14-year sentence in Long Kesh prison for possession of a handgun. It was his second time behind bars. He'd already served 3 years from 1973 to 1976 on a previous firearms charge. Just months after his release, Sands was arrested again following an IRA bombing of a furniture store in Dunmurry. Although he wasn't convicted for the bombing, a revolver found in the house where he was hiding led to his imprisonment. When Sands was first jailed in 1973, IRA prisoners like him had been entitled to special category status, which recognised them as political prisoners, not ordinary criminals. This allowed them to wear their own clothes, avoid prison labour and associate freely. But in 1976, the British government revoked the policy, aiming to criminalise paramilitary activity. The prisoners resisted immediately, refusing uniforms, then escalating to the dirty protest. When those efforts failed, they turned to hunger strikes. Sands began his in March 1981. A month later, while still refusing food, he was elected Member of Parliament for Fermanagh and South Tyrone. A shocking win that brought global attention to the strike. The British government still refused to back down. Sands died on May 5th, 1981, after 66 days without food. A prisoner turned politician whose protest echoed far beyond the prison walls. Now that we understand who Bobby Sands was and the struggle he gave his life to, let's talk about the song a bit more. Back Home in Derry reaches back to 1803, to a failed uprising led by Robert Emmet and the United Irishmen, a revolutionary group fighting to break Ireland free from British rule. Their vision was bold for its time, a secular independent Irish republic with equal rights for all. But the rebellion collapsed, Emmet was executed, and many of his fellow rebels were sentenced to transportation, exiled to Van Diemen's Land, now known as Tasmania. It was one of the harshest penal colonies in the world, a place of forced labour, disease and death. What Bobby Sands does in this song is powerful. He draws a direct line from Robert Emmet and the rebels of 1803 to himself and his fellow hunger strikers. Both were punished for fighting the same fight, just in different centuries, for a free Ireland. But there's more. The melody of Back Home in Derry wasn't written by Bobby Sands. It was borrowed from Gordon Lightfoot's The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, a ballad about a doomed shipwreck on Lake Superior. That tune, dark and relentless, gave Sands' lyrics an eerie rhythm that captured the despair and defiance of exile. It fit perfectly because in both songs, men are swallowed by forces beyond their control. Storms, empires, history itself. Christy Moore took Sands' words with his guitar and his voice, and a truth too big to silence, and he turned it into one of the most popular rebel songs we hear today. Back Home in Derry connects 2 moments in Irish history, Emmet's failed rebellion and Sands' hunger strike, and shows they're part of the same struggle. One died on the gallows, the other on a prison bed, but both believed that Irish freedom was worth dying for. And that's what makes this song matter. Don't think of it as just about ships or prisons or loss even. Think of it as about endurance, refusing to forget. It's about the cost of resisting empire and the power of memory to keep that resistance alive. Well, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and learned something, give us a like and a subscribe, and drop a comment down below and tell us what you thought. Or even let me know if you'd like me to do another song in particular. I read all the comments, I love hearing from you. I'd love to keep making these videos so you get as much enjoyment out of them as possible. But look, that's it. Thanks a million. I hope you all have a great day. All the best. Cheers.